Welcome to another live edition of Btblive and Andrew Hot Takes. I'm your host, Andrew Kratzer, with my co-host, Krista Carlos. Michael Steinberg will be joining later, but also Rodney might be joining. We don't know, but I sent him the link. But how you doing, Chris?
I'm doing good, Andrew. How are you?
Doing pretty good. So basically, this show is going to be the WrestleMania 39 Fallout and the Raw after Mania debacle, where it was the most shittiest Raw after Mania, hands down. But how did you like WrestleMania?
I thought all in all was good. It was one of the better ones.
What was your favorite night?
I liked the night two because of the three-way Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and Gunther. That thing was off the hook.
Yeah.
I liked the Hell in a Cell. I thought it was good.
Did you know?
Both nights were good.
Did you know that Finn Balor had a torn calf, and he was going to miss this Mania, but he put the work in? Hey, Christopher Brown, and hello, Jessica Hoffman. We missed you too.
What's up, guys?
But
he went into it with a torn calf?
Yeah, he did a bunch of rehab to get everything up, to make sure you wouldn't miss it. He put 3 weeks in rehab. His injury was supposed to be 8 to 9, I think, weeks he was going to be out. But he was like, I can't miss this Mania. And then his wife said that his torn calf was the demon, basically, in that match.
You couldn't tell it was torn. He was jumping around fine.
Okay, Rodney's here.
He got 14 staples in his head, though.
Yeah, 14. I still don't get how that accident happened. I thought he blocked it with his hands, that ladder. But also, Dave Meltzer listed that triple threat match as the 5-star of a 5-star match.
Dude, they beat the brakes off each other.
Yeah. Like they said, big meaty men slapping the shit out of each other.
We talking about our 5-star match?
Yes.
Dude, they slapped the living shit out of each other.
I never seen so much.
Fantastic.
I never seen so much chops in one match than I thought I would see. Like when Gunther entered number 2 or number 1 in the Rumble, I thought there's going to be everybody that got in the ring was going to get an immediate chop. But hello, Rodney. How you doing?
I feel like crap. Doing
what up, Rodney?
What's going down, guys? How you doing?
Not much.
I came on hop on for a little bit. I'm a little under the weather right now, not feeling too good, but I wanted to show face, say hello.
Yes.
Miss you guys.
Drinking my Starry.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Which is not as good as Sierra Mist. I'm sorry.
I heard you guys were talking about my favorite match of the weekend.
Yes, the triple threat match, the 5-star match.
Oh, listen. Big men slapping me. That's all I got to say about that. It's the match that was going to steal the weekend. I told everyone that's the match you're going to come out of WrestleMania talking about. Bro, these guys they killed each other. Well, they didn't almost kill each other, but they came quite close to almost having to do that in order to get through that damn match. So to see the image of Gunther and Drew McIntyre, not Gunther and Drew McIntyre, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre behind the curtain and Gorilla laid out on the steps, just laying there exhausted.
And
that's how you want to be after a match.
And the one word they said we were thinking about after the match, pints.
Yeah, listen. You heard Triple H at the press conference say that those 3 men put the world on notice about who they really are and what they really can do. Gunther has showed the world that he can be a world champion.
Yes.
On a major level. I said it before and I say it again. He is my favorite wrestler currently in the product. I'm very excited to see what the future holds for him. Hell, I'm excited for tonight. To be quite honest with you. I'm gotten past night 2 and everything else that's going on. so much speculation, so much misinformation, misreporting,
It
contradiction.
said night 2 and the whole Brock thing on Monday was all done before Vince.
Yeah,
came
and
back.
it was just so much.
Yeah.
I wrote the same thing, Mike.
Yeah, I didn't see a big problem with night 2.
And
Neither did I, except for Cody. I wanted Cody to win.
We all wanted Cody to win, but it turns
But
out
you know what? We got to be along for the ride, see the story, see the end.
and that's why I say the term hard times. Now,
Yes.
Cody went through personal hard times, battling with a torn pec, and then having to fight back for 9 months. Now he gets. If you look how the story arc is going, Cody hasn't went through those hard, tough beatings yet.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar, the Beast, that's a beating. He took one Monday night. So now to get through Brock Lesnar, you want to get back to the Tribal Chief. It's all going to come play full circle, guys. I'm telling you.
Well,
Yeah.
The
what I heard is Roman is not scheduled to be at Backlash.
No.
So it's perfect to have your Cody Rhodes Brock match there. Then
the next
you can
pay-per-view
even
is
have-
Saudi.
yeah, but you can even have Cody get hurt, come back for Money in the Bank, win Money in the Bank. Because remember what you said, Andrew, how he mentioned all the times, but guess what? There's a way around that. When Paul Heyman said no rematch here, there's a way around that. It's called Money in the Bank, and I'm cashing it in for a match at SummerSlam. They can't say no to that. It's in the contract.
Well, it better wrap up at SummerSlam, though.
It has to.
Oh,
It
no,
has
it
to.
has
But-
It can't wait till next year's Mania, which is what Andrew's thinking.
Bully Ray got that shit stuck in my head.
That's almost
But
true.
Listen,
Listen, I don't know if you guys want to get into. Well, if we're just going to jump around, but I couldn't see him as I'm watching is this the guy that's going to take it from him after this long run? Because Roman Reigns is on a mythical
Yes.
run.
God.
Yes.
You're talking Bruno. You're talking Bruno, Hulk Hogan. You know,
Pedro
this is the run.
Morales.
But the
You
thing is,
know-
it's gotten to the point that if not Cody, then who? Because there's
Well,
no
that's
one else.
what I'm saying. That's my next question. But as I'm watching, I'm like, is this the guy?
This is
You
the
know,
guy.
taking a crowd reaction out of it, because obviously the crowd was going to go nuts if he won. But is that the one that takes that ends that mythical streak?
I really do believe it's not going to be Cody. I feel it could be Seth.
But why? But what? But
Because
but why?
Because Seth has been putting more work and more effort into his business.
It's not about working. It's not about that. No.
Listen, Becky tipped me off when she was on Stephen A. Smith's podcast. And she said that she's proud of the work that Roman has done, and she's proud of what Cody has achieved. But she felt like Cody wasn't ready for this moment. And she goes, I know Roman's ready for the moment of main event of WrestleMania. I don't know sure if Cody Rhodes is. You know, Cody left this company. He went out there, did his own thing, coming back. Roman's been doing this grinding every single week, every single month. The man's on a god level. She goes, who I would like to see get this opportunity is a man that's been carrying this company on his back is my husband, Seth Rollins. And I said, you know, that can be her just, you know, just supporting the husband, you know, throwing that out there. But could she be planting seeds for that to go on post Cody winning the title? Because that's what I want to see him start back out with.
Right, because think of that, Ronnie. His first feud as champion should be Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins, exactly. So
Cody?
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that's main event level of any major four pay-per-view.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. But as far as was she referring to that Seth Rollins has more clout to end the reign like this with Roman Reigns than Cody Rhodes?
That's kind of the way I took it at the beginning. But then I said, you know what? Let me listen to it again. The feeling I got from her wasn't that. It was more of, I want to support my husband, but I feel like my husband should be wrestling Logan Paul. He should be in the main event of WrestleMania in some way, shape, form, or capacity. Now, I know people aren't happy. I'm sorry, guys. This is pro wrestling. It's storytelling. And sometimes you don't always get what you want. And sometimes you gotta wait a little longer for what you want. And it so happens it happened at WrestleMania.
Yep.
But was a lot of people shocked? Of course they were. But I'm telling you, the emotion that's gonna come off of this, the adversity he's gonna put himself through. No, it's not a surprise. Cody knew what it was before it even happened. So I read a lot of people thinking that, oh, this got changed at the last minute. No, it didn't. This was the plan all along.
Yeah, Roman was locked in for months.
It's gonna be
gonna walk in like a super soldier and beat Roman Reigns on the first try. Come on.
What Cody needs to do from now, after the Brock setup thing, what he needs to do is focusing on tearing up the bloodline from within, taking out Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Solo. So when if it's SummerSlam that Cody Rhodes is taking on Roman, there's no backup for Roman, so he has to do it by himself. He can even take out Paul Heyman. Make Roman Reigns walk in into Detroit without the bloodline. No Paul Heyman, nobody. And he can win it without any interference or anybody coming to even up the odds like Sammy and KO did. Because all that offense that KO and Sammy did to try to help Cody didn't work out. Because they didn't eliminate the other aspect, Solo Sikoa.
Yeah, but they couldn't have thought that Solo was going to come back because he was already ejected from the ring.
That's true. But
well, see, I don't know. I could be totally wrong. I took the Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar angle as, all right, that's next for you. And someone else is going to emerge to go at Reigns. Now, you mentioned it before, Gunther. Then we're going to argue with that at this point after what we saw on WrestleMania night, on Sunday night, to put him in an angle and him be the guy that takes away from Roman Reigns.
What if we all think it's going to be Cody Roman 2 at SummerSlam, and it's Gunther that wins Money in the Bank, and he comes in and does the heist of Seth Rollins at WrestleMania and interferes and pins Cody, setting up.
Is Gunther that type of character that you need to come in and do a cheap cash in?
No.
Or is he the type that walks into that ring and beats Roman Reigns after like a 20, 25-minute slugfest, half out? You know what I'm saying? Like a legitimate title. I'm taking your title.
But the problem that they have is that Cody is so over that who knows how the fans would even take Gunther winning that over Cody, as much as people like Gunther.
And to Mike's point, they want Cody to be white hot. He's hot, but they want him to be scorching to the point where he's untouchable.
Well, I think you don't think it reached that level?
I don't think it reached that level yet.
You don't think if they gave it to him on Sunday night, he wouldn't be that level right now of hot, that extra level?
Because the question that you'll be raising is, where do you go from here?
Don't they have an issue with not striking while it's hot? They do it all the time.
They do, but
actually, a lot of companies have had that recently. But
here's the thing: with this particular story, it has to continue because we don't. This is the guy we already have. This is the guy that's going to beat Roman. We know that, but we need to know how we're going to get there. He can't do it by. Listen, he got jumped, he got beat down. There was a bunch of people just running in throughout the whole match. He tried to do it. He can't do it by himself. Clearly. Roman. So why don't you put him in a Hell in a Cell? Why don't you put him in something where they have to ban the bloodline from getting involved? Why won't Cody, like Andrew said, take out the bloodline one by one by one?
Do what Cena did.
Solo Sikoa.
This is the
inside this whole time.
It's the arc of John Cena 2012.
Yes, it is.
Lost to The Rock. Out comes he wants The Rock to come to the ring the night after. Out comes Brock Lesnar to return. F5 Cena. Next pay-per-view is Extreme Rules. John Cena and Brock Lesnar Extreme Rules match. John Cena wins. Cody Rhodes now is going to be facing Brock Lesnar Backlash, the pay-per-view after Mania. Cody wins. And then maybe, like you said, Rodney, he gets injured during that match. Maybe he was locked in the Kimura lock and there's something wrong with his arm or something. He goes off a little bit, and Mike said comes back, Money in the Bank, wins it. But
because we still don't know what the plans were last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know if he was going to win Money in the Bank. There was no one can put out a straight report.
Yeah, because his reports, he was never in the picture. Really?
Like we don't know we don't know nothing until somebody opens their mouth and says, "Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen."
Well, like Jon Snow, we don't know nothing. Jon Snow.
I think they want to get him to the point where he is. It's undeniable. It can't be. He's got to get to Roman Reigns. He's got to get to God level.
Yep.
And the only way you do that as a babyface is you got to keep getting knocked down to keep build yourself back up again. He's the hero. Roman doesn't have to do that. Roman's a heel.
Yep.
So we're going basic storytelling. He's the bad guy. So let's book the bad guy to be the bad guy. Of course he's going to cheat to win. Of course he's going to do everything in his power to keep his championships. He wants that record too. That's in the back of his mind. 1,000 days is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
It's a long time. Yeah.
We haven't seen a 1,000-day champion in
some people say
in our lifetime.
People say he's gonna he's gonna just hold the title hostage, or they need to break up the titles. Listen, he's the hottest story in the WWE right now.
Christopher Brown said they painted themselves into a corner with the storyline, and there isn't an easy way out of it with anyone looking better than when they went in. I agree, 100% agree with your comment. They 100% backed themselves into the corner at WrestleMania 38 when Brock versus Roman title unification match. Brock didn't need the WWE Championship. They should have kept it on Bobby Lashley, and they could have had Bobby defend it night 1, and then night 2 could have been Roman versus Brock for Universal Championship, where Roman wins and keeps his Universal Championship, because right now he's keeping the WWE Championship hostage too. Yeah. How are they going to split up these belts, and how are they going to do that?
That was the key thing. The way they backed themselves into the corner was the unification. You shouldn't have unified the belts. Like Michael said, it takes away
opportunity.
Take away opportunity, but I prefer it because, again, I've said this so many times. Why does each show need a belt? To me, that's stupid. It's a belt that represents a show. Although the men's titles have different names, it's the Raw Women's Championship. It's okay? So you're the champion of the show. That's what that says to me. SmackDown Women's Champion. I'm the champion of the show. And that they should be putting some name on those, right? If you want to have more clout. But I think as the heavyweight champion, back in the day there was one champion.
Yep.
So why can't we have that now? And you still have guys. It builds up your mid card titles. There's opportunities all over the place.
If they have only 2 mid card set titles, the one thing they got to do, bring back another title. Back in the day, they used to have, wasn't it the light heavyweight, European, Intercontinental, before they even introduced the United States Championship in 2002, I believe, or 2003, when Eddie won. Like, introduce other titles to make it so then other people are fighting for other titles and build up those people too. But Christopher Brown said the thing with the titles, Andrews, it's been Fox and NBC Universal bitching and belly aching about wanting a title of their own on their respective show, and going into Mania, there was all this talk of them getting a new belt designs. Well, what the fuck happened to all that talk? And then
to Jessica Hoffman's point,
what's your take on Vince being back and their fans using the fire of Vince? To me, I don't really see Vince in control. Hopefully not too much. Let's hope he see how good of a job Triple H is doing with Raw and SmackDown.
Well,
to me,
he was insane.
to me, Vince McMahon is afraid to let go of his product.
Well, the funny
never
thing
will.
about all that is he went live on television early Monday morning, said, I am a consultant to creative, and I will not make the final decision. To later at night, making all these changes, and now they're saying he does make the final decision. So he straight up lied, if that's the case. Number two, he wanted to leave, and Ari said, I had to beg him to come back.
Yeah,
Like, Vince wanted to leave, and Ari said no.
which is stupid to me, in my opinion, because
Yeah.
all it does is bring negative smoke towards you.
Yes.
So why would you not just let him go? From what we heard, the only reason why you were involved in this is because you liked the way Paul Levesque was booking his product, and you wanted Paul Levesque to be involved in this deal, and you didn't want him in control. But
here's what's weird. Here's what's weird is he came back, and his new position is going to be on the board of the new company, the new big company. It's not WWE. It's going to be that new company. No, and Endeavor is the owner. It's not the company that. It's not the company that's going to be called. It's not going to be called that. So it's like, what's weird is if that's the case, that he's going to have some power over UFC too. It's weird.
Well, you better hope not.
Dana,
because according to that, the board is going to be one board that's both companies.
Yeah.
Well, he's not going to have any.
I don't think he's going to do anything with UFC because UFC, there'll be guys that will come in, some fighters that if they don't get that big fight, I know they will fucking do something.
No, I'm not
stupid.
saying he's going to. I'm just saying if he ever wanted to, he could be like, well.
But the one thing I would do is, like I've been wanting my fucking whole life, Bobby Brock, WrestleMania,
bad
and
thing
an MMA
is,
fight. Let's go.
Bad thing is Dana White was also asked about crossover, and he said no, there will not be crossovers. But you're trying to tell me if Ari says, hey, I want one of the UFC fighters to show up on Raw and SmackDown, you think it's not going to happen?
I want John Jones to face off against Brock Lesnar in a
We've
at
done
WrestleMania.
that before. They've been doing that back
exactly
in a true MMA match. Can you imagine 15 minutes?
Listen,
3 5-minute rounds.
You don't worry about that. Worry about the dude coming back and fucking everything up.
Exactly.
Listen, I will give the guy. Listen, I've said this so many
television
times.
To say one thing.
He gets credit for building the machine and doing the WrestleManias and the grand, of everything and getting the TV deals. You give Vince McMahon credit for that. As far as him running the product, that's where he's an absolute joke. Because even in the mid-90s, right, he had help when they had to go against WCW. When they changed the Attitude Era, those weren't his. He was allowing other people to do things. Then he took it all back again. So his genius should just be on the marketing and moving the machine forward and the extravaganzas and the spectaculars, and leave the son-in-law in charge of what we want.
Exactly. Look at NXT. Look at NXT this past week.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal. And that's a Triple H and Shawn Michaels baby.
I couldn't say one bad thing about NXT this week.
I couldn't say one bad thing about Stand Deliver. I loved the whole entire product on that Saturday before Mania.
Championship match. Oh my
and then
God.
Tuesdays NXT was phenomenal.
Man.
Monday's Raw sucked.
Yeah. But I got to ask you guys, because I asked Chris before, what was your favorite night of Mania? Mike?
Night one. Night one was amazing, but the Gunther match is match of the weekend.
Yeah, that I'm gonna go with the same thing with Mike. Night one was my favorite night. Night two wasn't bad. The night two wasn't bad at all. Just felt like night one had more bang.
Night one, like Rodney and I said, was the wrestling portion of WrestleMania.
Night one was better, and then the match of the weekend was night two.
Night one was longer than night two, by the way, if you noticed that.
Yep.
And I felt like when we were at Mania last year, I felt like both nights were about the same time. Christopher Brad says, I want Misha Tate kicking Ronda and Shayna's ass. No, Holly Holm. Then Ronda Rousey would get PTSD from that shit. And then also, Christopher Brown said the problem is that Vince's ego is too massive for that. He can't stand the thought of somebody else running the company. That's why he sold it to Endeavor rather than letting Hunter and Steph inherit it.
Well,
But here's the thing, Andrew. Endeavor buying it might actually be the same thing as pretty much Hunter and Steph being in charge, because look at the UFC. Endeavor bought it. Nothing's changed.
Yep.
What was the number? What was the number they bought it for?
I don't remember. Yeah.
Wasn't it 21 bill?
No, that's going to be the combined price of the new company, the worth of the new company.
Okay.
Is what, 21 billion?
Oh, he won 9 billion. I know he won a 9 billion.
No, 9.30 is what it's worth, Chris, but I don't think he paid for that.
I know he wanted what it was worth, but I don't think anybody was going to call for $9 billion.
No. But like I said, when the UFC was first purchased by Endeavor, Mark and I looked at each other and said, how is this going to change the company? Because Zuffa was doing a great job.
Yeah.
And you look at it, nothing's changed. Nothing changed. The only thing that changed was it's on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, that was like the streaming deal and
the product.
But did he get his grubby hands into the script on Monday night? Which a lot of reports are that he did.
If he did,
change it. They had 3 different scripts. When Seth Rollins came out to the ring, they went to commercial. They basically went to the ring and told Seth Rollins that his segment was cut. So that's why when we got back from commercial, we were just hearing him serenade the crowd with his little chant, and then he left, and Kenny was like, that's it. But could we talk night 1 first before we go deep into the debacle of Raw at the Mania?
Okay, go ahead.
So night 1 kicked off with Austin Theory taking on John Cena for the United States Championship, which Austin Theory won. That match was 11 minutes and 20 seconds long. John Cena
11 minutes, 20 seconds too long.
But I called John Cena out that day of, and I said, John, better have a long match. And that's a long match for me, for John Cena.
11 minutes?
11 minutes, that's pretty long. It's not like that 5-minute match.
Let me just answer Christopher's thing. That won't work for one reason. The fans will not go back to paying for WWE pay-per-views. I can tell you that. We're spoiled. We're spoiled
because it's basically
because
free.
The Peacock.
What's about?
He says, and this is what other people are afraid of, that WWE might end up going back to having pay-per-views instead of PLEs and having it on ESPN Plus. And you know how UFC, you got to pay $60, $70. There's no way they can charge us $50, $60 for a WWE pay-per-view anymore. Fans will not do that.
That's where AEW went wrong. They should have got a streaming service after their 3 years and put their pay-per-views there and had a network or something where you don't have to pay Bleacher Report $29.99 to watch a pay-per-view. I ain't paying $30 to watch an AEW. I go onto my streaming sites and watch that shit.
It's different in combat sports because some guys get a cut of the pay-per-view.
Exactly. You get cuts of pay-per-view. So people are willing to pay for UFC pay-per-view.
Well, the difference I don't think the truck is going to change.
No, I don't.
One's real and one's entertainment.
Uh-huh.
You can't mix the two.
You can sell a TV show for $9.99.
Yeah, you can't sell a live. Yeah.
For $9.99. That's just crazy. So to answer that, I don't think it's ever going to go back to the way it used to be. The price is the price. It is what it is. Fans are not going to pay $70 for a pay-per-view, especially this time. Talk about hard times. Nobody's got the money to cough up once a month.
Listen to what happens with my brother, and my brother and my friend Bryn, they alternate their UFC pay-per-views on who pays for it, because $70 a pay-per-view is a lot. Even for UFC, Bryn will pay for this one. Next month, Mark will pay. Then Bryn will pay. Then Mark will pay. Then Bryn will pay. And and you can have up to 2 people watching it, so they're each watching it.
And me and Trish turns around and I ask her, well, she goes, "Oh, this person's fighting. You want to watch it?" Not really. All right, so we're not buying it.
Well, here's what's funny, Rodney. So one of the fights, I think it was the Usman fight, Mark didn't want to see it. I'm like, so then why are you getting it if you don't want to see it? Go, because Bryn wants to see it and it's my turn. I'm like, Mark, you don't want to see it. Tell Bryn to buy it, and you don't watch it. You pay for the next one.
Yeah. Andrew mooches off of my account.
I try to say I want to Venmo you money, and you say no. Trish wants to watch it as well.
No, Trish, because she does. I don't. Listen,
I know.
I love the UFC just as much as the next person, but Trish has become a bigger fan than I have.
Yo, it's crazy.
It's weird.
But like watching UFC, it's a whole different entity for me. Like,
now,
I'm watching wrestling, and I can just go like this. At watching UFC, I'm flinching back and forth.
Yeah, you're
like,
come on.
You're like squeezing your chair, or you're going nuts because you're afraid that your favorite fighter is going to get knocked out, and once they take a punch.
My heart races when a fighter I like is fighting.
Yeah, listen, Andrew's like my grandfather. We're big boxing fans in our family. So every time we have a fight on, my grandfather would move with the punches. So he'll sit in his chair and move back and forth like he's dodging the punches. That's Andrew. He sits there. Can
you imagine they had like UFC fights in VR? Imagine you seeing the punches, you'll be knocked. I feel like I get knocked out.
No, I'm good. I'll pass. Well, yeah, with the new merger, there's a lot of things that might come. You might see a lot more ads.
We might get brand new championship designs somehow.
Yeah, you never know what can happen.
We might actually go to like where we don't have to have the big ass WWE logo on a belt. We might go back to like how the Big Gold was. Little WWE logo and the nice design.
Maybe not. We don't even remember. UFC changed their titles. We don't even know who came up with that.
You may have a UFC fighter showing up on a WWE event. Right? That's been done. You're not going to have wrestlers going over to the UFC.
But they'll have them appear. They might appear in the crowd as.
Well, they already appear in the crowd.
But they're not. You're not mixing a combat sport. It's not going to mix.
The only person I would see going there is in a UFC fight is Brock Lesnar or Bobby Lashley, the 2 people that actually know MMA.
Already admitted he's too old. When he was on McAfee's show, he's too old. The way he described it, he knows how to train for WWE. It's kind of easy for him at his age to do that. He's not fighting anymore in the octagon. That shit's over with.
As much as we want him and John Jones, it's not happening.
Okay.
So get back to John Cena.
So John Cena loses because he gets low blowed, and then A-Town down.
Yeah, that's why he lost.
He looked like a pasty white mother trucker.
That man looked like a jaw mayonnaise.
He looked like Sheamus when he first debuted.
I'm gonna say he looked sick. He looked sick.
Yeah, he didn't look well. He looked terrible.
Looked like a jaw mayonnaise with a missing cap.
He should have went to LA and should have got a spray tan or something.
A spray tan, yeah, but do something with that hair.
Yeah, the hair.
What's homeboy doing with his hair?
I think I think he needs to get some Rogaine on that bald spot, but also I think it's also him having to grow his hair out for certain roles.
He has to go to Bosley.
I think he has to grow his hair out for some certain rules and
money.
Yeah, but he could have. If he had to grow his hair out, they have all sorts of things to work that out for TV. That he couldn't have came on TV looking like that. He didn't have to.
Crazy.
Talk about mailing it in. Talk about. I hope that's the last time. Like you never saw the Undertaker coming out looking like that, and the man could barely walk his last couple matches. That was pathetic. They got to stop trolling his ass out for WrestleMania. It's getting old.
I'd like to see him host the Mania, but not wrestle.
That's
at a Mania.
fine.
Yeah, host, put a suit on, you know.
Put a suit on, yeah.
No shots to the back of the head. We good.
No, yeah.
We're good. Just straightforward.
Keep your freaking baseball cap on.
But look, I applaud John
Yeah.
for doing the job. You know, putting Cena, putting Theory over. That's cool. But look, and a lot of times I'm saying, you know what? I kind of miss John in a lot of ways. Old John, where John was thick into WWE wrestling every week and getting the job done. You know, you kind of miss that once in a while because sometimes you see some of these guys and it just feels like they're just mailing in their matches. It's like, oh, this is a waste of time. And that when your heart's not in it and the locker room morale is down, guess what? You're going to start mailing in matches. You're not going to care anymore. And a lot of that starts to be shown when things are going south. So right now, things are spinning out of control a little bit. Who better than bringing in somebody like John Cena who can kind of settle it down and maybe talk to some of them? Hey, listen, sometimes shit gets crazy out here, but everything will right its course. You got the right man at the helm to do it.
I feel like
him and believe in him, and he get you where you need to go.
I feel like they bring in John Cena when somebody is not doing the job correctly sometimes.
Well, you heard what also
AK No Mercy, that pay-per-view, the Raw before, or not the Raw, the feud with Roman Reigns. I felt like they brought John Cena in that because Roman Reigns wasn't doing his job correctly in a way. So
it's hard for him to get over.
So they needed
to get over the people that hated him.
Yeah, so they needed Cena to help do that.
The Rock tried. The Rock tried to get him over. He couldn't do it. They tried everything with Roman. And finally, Roman did it finally by himself. And it happened just organically where he figured it out. This is what I got to do. And, hey, this is the best work Roman has done his entire career.
Better than what he did with the Shield. I got to tell you.
Shield will be second. This has got to be grade A, top number one portion of his career. But hands down.
S tier.
Oh, yeah.
A tier is the Shield.
But yeah, Theory Cena. If I had to nitpick, and this is nitpicking, worst match of WrestleMania.
That much.
That's nitpicking. That's me being picky, whiny little punk, just saying, "Oh well, we could have did without that." That's my we could have did without that match. Yep. And a women's showcase, but we'll get to that.
Okay. Speaking of showcases, that's the next match. The men's WrestleMania showcase fatal 4-way tag team match that consists of the Street Profits, Braun Strowman and Ricochet, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders. The match was won by the Street Profits in 8 minutes and 30 seconds. I gotta say, it felt like it was longer than that.
Yes, it felt like it was longer, but it was good. It wasn't bad.
Watching Montez,
even Mark said that was one of his favorite matches.
Oh man, they shocked the hell out of me. I thought that was gonna be a cluster like all hell.
Seeing Angelo Dawkins fucking pounce the shit out of Braun Strowman as he's doing what is that move he does? The train, whatever. Yeah. What is it? The Strowman Express?
Yeah, Strowman Express or Runaway.
That was amazing. And then the finish was awesome. That Montez picking up the win by pinning Ricochet after doing that big ass frog splash. But I gotta hand it to these tag teams that were in that showcase.
Shush, please.
Yes, Christopher Brown. The right team won the match, but they missed an opportunity to separate Montez Ford and give him the singles run he's more than earned. That's why I thought was going to happen on Monday Night Raw after they lost to Sammy and KO. I thought one of them were going to.
Who knows? That could have actually been the whole plan all along.
But
we never know.
We'll never know. That's right.
Moving on, we had Seth freaking Rollins taking on Logan Paul, where Seth freaking Rollins won in 16 minutes and 15 seconds. And this was supposedly Logan Paul's final match on his contract, and reportedly he signed a 2-year extension.
I don't believe that because there's been nothing said since that so-called rumor?
Maybe they're trying to like let him disappear for a little bit.
He would have announced that shit right away. You know him.
I'm back in
But-
WWE, baby.
Also, seeing KSI in that Prime bottle mascot, and then Logan Paul frog splashing him through the table, and then he tweeted later, "I finally beat KSI," because Logan was 0-2 in boxing fights against KSI. But that match was unbelievable. Gotta say, Seth put in the work. Logan puts in the work. I gotta tell you, Logan Paul is something. I know he's a celebrity and whatever, but he has potential.
Like I said to you guys, the last few years have been celebrities that are actually putting the work in. Bad Bunny, McAfee, Logan Paul. They're people who actually want to do this, not like a Snooki who just looking for a payday.
Oh,
damn it! I wasn't expecting to hear that name on this show.
Jeez Louise. Oh God. But here's my thing. I think it's time for Seth Rollins to move on to bigger and better things. The Logan Paul thing was cool. It was cool for WrestleMania. I was digging it. Great match. But now it's time for Seth Rollins to take that next step. And that's where we got to get him implemented in some type of major title picture. It's time, man. I know he got a lot of love at the beginning of his singles run. Post-Shield, he got a lot of opportunity. And I get that. But damn it, the man is riding a wave right now that is just picking up a whole lot of steam. He's dumbed it down with the outfits. I'm really happy. Only way on the special events now he goes really, really crazy again. Even overall, he has a big coat. So all right, I can deal with the big coat. But no, the extra he was wearing. Come on, man.
What was he wearing on Saturday? He had like some sort of pink.
He was playing Jeff Jarrett.
So
yeah, the Dick Dance outfit.
That there was a video backstage of Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch when Seth Rollins showed Becky his WrestleMania gear, and she was so jealous of him. She was like, "That should have been mine. I wish I had that."
She'd be showing a lot of skin if she was wearing that.
Oh yeah, she too. Seth is he's brolic. He can fill out that outfit. Becky wouldn't fill out that outfit. Becky's toned her body up very well. She looks great, and that outfit would have been hanging on her. It just wouldn't have looked right.
Even the jacket would have been like too big on her. It'd be like she ran a comforter.
Yeah, it would have been weird. So I do appreciate the
Austin Powers Faja.
No, it was weird. It was weird, all right.
Yeah, it was like Seth
Rollins.
Steph's on another level right now. He's just in this weird state. I don't know what it is.
I think he just too much of the internet era because he's looking at people's outfits on TikTok or something. He's like, I want to wear that to the ring.
I think he's watching a lot of Zoolander.
And I think he's watching these fashion events and saying, "What the heck are these people wearing? I want it."
Yeah, I'm
give it to me now.
You went from a guy that was wearing your tights, your wrestling boots, and a t-shirt to a guy rocking fur coat, bell bottoms, looking like Lady Wilson. You came out here, you got the big fur coats on, looking like a pimp out of the 70s in Times Square. You look nuts, man. But the people are digging it. Yep. It's crazy how much the people love it. They're loving it. I'm only a matter of time away. Come July, if he's still this hot, come July, somebody in the crowd at Madison Square Garden for SmackDown will come dressed up as Seth Rollins. Yep. I promise you, they're going to come dressed up looking crazy, just like Seth.
Even like I feel like a meet and greet, somebody's going to dress up like that. During the WrestleCon, some little kid dressed up as Papa Shango. and surprised the shit out of him. He was like,
oh, he took so many pictures of that kid, and the kid was stunned. He was stunned. It was a cool ass moment, man. That was such a cool video, and the kid was so happy. He got to meet Baba Shango, and they took pictures together. He held him up. It was amazing. It was amazing.
okay. Moving on, we had the 6-woman tag team match consist of Damage Control taking on Trish, Lita, and Becky Lynch, where Trish, Lita, and Becky Lynch went over. And I felt like, as much as I love Lita and Trish,
it's time to hang it up.
I think
a little clunky.
I think the wrong team went over this match. I think Damage Control should have won this match. They needed this because, like Mike said, the group is dead in the water.
The group died months ago when Bayley failed to win the title.
And also, during the match, Lita apparently took a boot to the face.
Damn.
And she had a black eye.
It's crazy.
With regards to this match, where was the Trish heel turn that was rumored? LOL. And then Jessica Hoffman said, did you see the article about the fan whom was told to leave WrestleMania because he was dressed as the big boss man? No, I did not see anything.
Yeah, I saw it. But he went outside and changed, and he came back in.
Oh, okay.
Some overzealous security guard because he said he was impersonating a police officer.
Oh, come on.
He had a
so then everyone that dresses up for Halloween as a police officer has
well,
to
that's what they were trying to explain to him, but he wasn't buying it because he had a patch on his sleeve. So he went and put on his big boss man t-shirt.
So we have the hired,
and he was in on night one with no problem.
So we hire independent wrestlers that dress up as cops. That's okay?
Listen, it was one guy out of the whole stadium because he was in the night before. He ran into the wrong guy, and then that was it. I guess the guy didn't understand what cosplay was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's a wrestler. I'm dressed up as a fucking wrestler. Like,
that 6-woman tag team match was 14 minutes and 40 seconds long.
Too long.
Too long. Too long.
I wanted to just hop on. Wish you guys a good show. I'm going to feed this little child, little gremlin. But, guys, I'll be listening. I'll be in the comment section. So
Alrighty.
have a good one. Break a leg, and I'll be on the next episode.
Alrighty.
All right,
See you,
Easy.
Take it easy. That was founder, co-creator of the Beyond the Barricade, Rodney Harris, that just joined. We love you, Rodney. See you in this comment section. Moving on, we got Rey Mysterio taking on Dominic Mysterio, where Rey Mysterio defeated Dominic Mysterio in 14 minutes and 55 seconds. Did the right person go over in this match?
no. I mean, you knew it was going to be Ray, but no.
I felt like it should have been Dom. As much as I hate this whole I went to
Dominic,
jail
he's not
character.
that good.
You
He's
want
not good enough to go.
but you want to establish this team as this
All right,
powerhouse.
listen, the team is kind of busting. You know, Rhea Ripley's the only star out of the crew. So
That's why
the rest of them, they are what they are.
They need
Is she now the leader of the group? She would have to be. She's the champ.
I feel like they need a mega star to join that group just so they can be put over. And Damian Priest, I felt like Damian Priest should be on his own. Dominic Mysterio should have, I said this, as much as I love him, like in the beginning, he should have fucking went to NXT. I'm sorry, Ray, that you're legendary.
Like, speaking of, like, who would you rather see, the young kid? You want to see him or Carmelo Hayes?
I'd rather see Carmelo Hayes.
It's not even close. That's what I'm saying. So Dominic Mysterio needs to be buried on the roster because he doesn't deserve what he gets, and he's not that good.
And I'm sorry to anybody that's like a big Dom, like not a Dom fan, like a big like generational super like star fan. Like I love Cody Rhodes, but just because his last name is Rhodes doesn't mean he should be pushed to the top. He needs to earn that shit. Like Dom should.
Cody Rhodes earned it though at this point in his career.
Yeah, but like in
Period.
earlier in his career when he was put with Legacy, put it on his own, but then he was able to figure out his character as he grew into the WWE. But right now, Dominic Mysterio, I'm sorry, just because your daddy's Ray doesn't mean you should get the star treatment.
No.
You should have went to NXT. That's why you see The Rock's daughter. She's in a group right now with Shizm, and she's earning her name in NXT so she can one day come to the main roster and hopefully earn her respect in the main roster.
Yeah, but going back to the that's what it should be. But going back to the group, you can't have the group overshadowing the women's champion.
Yeah,
that does nothing for her.
That's why I think
either she leaves the group or she leaves it.
I believe she will leave the group, leaving Finn, Dominic, and maybe just takes Dom with her to SmackDown.
No, that's got to stop.
But
stop. She's been dragging him this whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't need to be in any more big storylines at the present moment. There's other people that need to get those spots, and they got to stop with the event. You got to have a conclusion to the whole thing with his father.
That's why I think at Backlash, I think as much as I love Rey Mysterio as well, I think it's time to him to hang up the boots and hang up the mask.
Yeah.
I think it's time for – I think maybe the story will end in maybe at Backlash or maybe SummerSlam where it's –
SummerSlam is what? How many? That's way too long. It should have ended at WrestleMania. It should have ended already. It's a long, drawn out, and the payoff on it is not that much.
Christopher Brown says Dominic Mysterio reminds me of Ted DiBiase. Jessica Hoffman says I think Rhea's going to drop Dom and just be on her own. And then Christopher Brown said the sad thing about that, Chris, is the fans have gotten used to seeing Dom and Rhea together.
Yeah, well, they get used to seeing a lot of people together. You could break them up because she don't need to be dragging that dead weight with her.
What was the highlight of that whole match of Ray versus Dom? Was when Ray got the freaking belt out and started whipping his son. And then Michael Cole shouting, he deserved it. All the things he did to his dad, he deserved it. But moving on to, I say, the best match of night, one of the best night matches in night one. Rhea Ripley taking on Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship, where Rhea Ripley got her revenge from WrestleMania 36. And she won that match in 23 minutes and 35 seconds by pinfall after an avalanche Riptide. How did everybody feel about this match?
My favorite match of Saturday.
Not even KO and Sami Zayn taking on the Usos?
My favorite match of Saturday.
I know that was Kenny's favorite match of Saturday. I know our boy Kenny.
I thought it was too. That was legitimate for real match. That was really good.
And seeing Charlotte afterwards, pretty much smiling, going like this. She knows. She knew. She knew they put on. She knew they put on a match.
You know, she gets a lot of.
She even tweeted out the next day how the division's in good hands.
She gets a lot of unnecessary hate going towards her, and I'm sorry, it just makes that moment that much bigger. That Rhea Ripley's beating Charlotte Flair for the title.
Yes,
Rhea Ripley's beating somebody else that doesn't have the same clout. So people can hate Charlotte Flair all they want, but she's the best around, and she's a star, And when you want to pass the torch, you have to pass it from a star.
And the fact that it makes sense, because I said from back at the Royal Rumble, before it happened, I said Rhea's gonna win, and she's gonna challenge Charlotte. It's the only thing that made sense.
You know, if Rhea Ripley beats Bayley, nobody really gives a shit.
Yeah.
Or even if she beats Bianca, no one really cares.
No one really, yeah.
Because to me, this story arcs of getting revenge, like, basically you embarrassed me at WrestleMania 36. So obviously I'm going to get my revenge on you.
And I agree with Chris Rodriguez. That was the match of the weekend right behind the IC title match. So you have IC title match and then the women's, and those are your top two matches.
Apparently she's taking some time off now.
Mm-hmm.
It was reported. But it was definitely one of the better women's title matches.
Yep.
Because, and people can hate me, and it's because Charlotte Flair was a part of it. I'm sorry. You know, everyone wants big stars, but they want the ones that they, you know, like sometimes the people that you want are big stars.
Mm-hmm. Charlotte is the big star.
That's why I'm so happy that the result of last year's Mania was Charlotte beating Ronda. Because why does Ronda need to beat Charlotte? It only makes sense the fact that Rhea Ripley. As much as I'm not a big Rhea Ripley fan, Kenny knows I hate Rhea.
Why don't you like Rhea Ripley? What's your problem?
He thinks Toni Storm deserves it more than her.
Oh, you're still in the Toni Storm shit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
come on, Andrew.
And I said, okay, you got two of them. Who do you think is going to get you more?
Rhea Ripley.
Or Rhea?
Toni Storm, they were even when they came in, and Rhea Ripley ascended herself, and Toni Storm stayed the same. Not saying Toni Storm's bad.
Right,
she never
exactly.
elevated.
We're not saying she's horrible.
She didn't elevate. They came in even, right? Toni Storm beat her at Evolution, right?
No, Toni Storm beat
who'd she beat?
Io Shirai.
Okay. But
still, they were even, and Rhea's the one that separated
and Rhea
herself.
Ripley, you're going to get a lot more out of Rhea Ripley than you're getting out of Toni Storm.
Everybody knows my feelings, but moving on. We had an impromptu match set up by Snoop Dogg, Pat McAfee returning to WrestleMania, taking on The Miz, and Pat McAfee wins in 3 minutes and 40 seconds. I know this was like the calm down match of the Charlotte Rhea match, so all the fans have something to calm down about before the main event. But I found it very hilarious that Snoop Dogg was able to make matches at WrestleMania, not being the real host until he made the match. But moving on to the main event of night one, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn taking on the Usos for the undisputed tag team championships. KO and Sami win in 24 minutes and 15 seconds. Longest match on the card.
Felt longer.
It was 24 minutes and 15 seconds.
That was the longest on night one?
It only beat out Charlotte and Rhea by 40 seconds.
Those two deserved most time.
Yes. It was a banger match. As much as seeing Sami Zayn getting his ass kicked the whole time, most of the match, he took more of the beating, I felt, even though Kevin Owens went through the announce table. And just to see him hit 3 haluva kicks on Jey Uso, which was the perfect ending of this match, because I said
it had to be.
Sami Zayn needed to pin Jey, not Jimmy. had to pin Jay. Kevin can't get the win. Sami needed to. And looking at Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens from last year, Kevin Owens taking on Stone Cold in a no-holds-barred match, and Sami Zayn taking on Johnny Knoxville in an anything goes match. To see the main event night one of Mania and win the tag titles for the first time in their career in the WWE, he brought like a little tear to my eye in a way.
Yeah, well,
And then
Kevin Owens Stone Cold was a big spot. The other one was not. So it's more that Sami Zayn really, because Kevin Owens was put in a big spot last year. Did that finish? Didn't that close out night one?
Mm-hmm.
It did. So, but Sami Zayn, yeah, he was jumping around with Johnny Knoxville last. So that's a big ascend for him. As long as they continue pushing the tag teams, though.
Yeah. Like, I think the next, like when you said, the showcase matches should have been the number one contenders. And I thought Monday Night Raw would have been the number one tag team match. Would have been the tag team title match. But I feel like that feud is going to start up for that match at Backlash. And Christopher Brown said, Chris Rodriguez said, you can have that. You say the tag team was the best payoff because the emotions involved with Sami and the Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Brown said, and Andrew, did you hear earlier this week post by Ric Flair questioning them putting the tag match rather than Charlotte and Rhea? No, I did not see that.
Yeah, he was. He's throwing out his.
I understand it.
WrestleMania season, if he didn't say something.
I mean, I understand why it was the tag match.
I do.
I totally understand why. If they had done it the other way, would I have been upset? No.
I think, in a way, I understood it as, why is Cody Rhodes getting the main event of night 2 when he won the Rumble, and Rhea Ripley is getting the co-main when she won the Royal Rumble? And I know guarantee. It's not guaranteed.
But what I'm saying is that's why I have no problem if they went that route. But I understand why the tag match was the main event.
Yeah, listen, if they want to, going forward, use the format of
you win the Rumble,
main event on Saturday, and the men's main event on Sunday, but that hasn't been established yet.
Right.
So I got no problem. Ric Flair's coming off like these, young, soft people that have something to say. I mean, not even something to say, to really nitpick something. Had no.
I gotta say, whatever storyline that year after Mania, after the Rumble, whatever storyline seems a better, interesting match should always get the main event. And
listen, I'm sure the crowd that was there in person was happy.
That's why,
right?
Yeah,
they seemed happy. So,
yeah. To me,
it's semantics. To me,
yeah.
It really is semantics.
Yeah, it all depends what the crowd is feeling.
Listen, what was the first? Was it WrestleMania? What when the main event was the tag team with Piper and
that was one.
It was one, right? Piper and Orndorff and Hogan and Mr. T. That was a tag team match. Was the main event. So know your history, Rick, before you're going to pipe off. Talk about someone who needs to stay home. Let your daughter stand on her own 2 feet.
Apparently, they were mad at the things he was saying during the Hall of Fame speech.
Mm-hmm.
What, WWE's mad?
Yeah.
Well, because you're giving a mic to a fucking crazy man and expecting a good result.
Yep.
So, the less Ric Flair you get, the better at this stage in his life. So, anyway.
Night 2, Sunday, we had the opening match was Brock Lesnar taking on Omos. where Brock Lesnar defeated
Could have
Omos
done
in
without that match.
4 minutes and 55 seconds. We all knew Brock Lesnar was winning. It was his Andre the Giant Hulk Hogan moment. David beating Goliath.
But the thing is he didn't even have a moment to even rival that.
Yeah.
You could have ran back Lashley.
I'd rather do that. Yes,
could've.
David.
Well,
yes.
the fact that Lashley is upset he didn't even get a match. Why didn't you just do that?
And during Mania, after Mania, did you see?
Yeah, has almost exactly. If you're gonna measure who deserves, not more deserving, but who needs to be Bobby Lashley. Almost.
And if you saw,
or wait, let me rephrase that. Or like Christopher Brown is saying, you could have even had Bobby Lashley interfere in that match, helping Omos.
Something. So that could have been scratched off. I'm not buying big Andre the Giant moment. It's like Lex Luger and Yokozuna. Who gives a shit?
And then we had to follow it up with an even shittier type of match. What was the Fatal 4-Way Women's Showcase match that consists of Chelsea Green,
which we all knew who was winning.
Yes,
that was a disaster.
Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, Natalya Shotzi, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, and Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Ronda Rousey and Shayna won by submission in 8 minutes and 25 seconds. We don't have to go over that shit because it was a.
Well, I will say this: the whole Ronda Rousey thing's got it. That's over with.
I'm done.
Even I'm done, and I was a fan of her.
I was a fan
of her in UFC. I'm not a fan of her in the WWE.
But the thing is, Andrew, thing is, she was progressing a little bit at a time, but now she's just regressed.
It's terrible now. Now it's bad. And
moving on to the 5-star match of the night, the best match of WrestleMania. Gunther taking on Sheamus and Drew McIntyre in a triple threat match for Intercontinental Championship, which was successfully defended by Gunther in 16 minutes and 40 seconds. That match felt like longer to me.
That seemed longer. Listen, when I watched Gunther laying him in, and then Drew McIntyre took it to another level. Gunther's laying him in. I'm like, oh my God. And then McIntyre starts doing his, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, he just took it up a notch where I'm just like, how are they standing up?
Yo, how are they breathing?
And then
it's cardio.
Sheamus with his
like the 10 beats of the Belgium.
Jeez.
He did 30. He did 30 of those. I mean, I like just the amount of abuse on each other's chests.
I understand the cardio and shit, but if you're getting hit in your chest that many times, how the fuck are you breathing after that match? You're getting oxygen at the end of the match.
Your chest is like chop meat after that. And those are big dudes, and they were laying them in. I mean, there was nothing soft.
I was expecting
anybody that wants to tell me it's fake.
Yeah, look at their fucking chest after that match. I was expecting one of them to look like. You ever see Kofi Kingston caved in chest?
Yeah,
I was expecting one of them to look like that after the fucking match was over.
It was vicious.
Yes,
but it was very enjoyable, and
thank God for that match because the first 2 matches of the night,
they stepped it up after that. Set the tone, I would have to say, in a big way. That was tough to follow.
Yes, and then we had the next match was a singles match for the Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair defending her championship against Asuka, where Bianca Belair defeated Asuka by pinfall in 16 minutes and 5 seconds. Before we go over that, Beyond the Barricade sends our condolences to the contortionist. Her mother passed away that morning. We found out the news of that after night 2's.
Which is funny because a lot of people are trying to say, "Oh, they changed the result of that match because of what happened in the morning." Stop.
Change the result.
Stop.
they would.
You're not going to change the result because of that.
Asuka was supposed to win.
That's what someone's trying to say.
Oh, stop.
David said the new Taker Belair. And I didn't know this until Mike texted me. Or Asuka's 0-5 at Mania.
0-5 at Mania.
Which
and you were worried about Sasha at Mania.
Yeah, see?
And so I didn't realize that I didn't remember that she competed at WrestleMania 35 and she was in that Andre the Giant the women's battle royale that was won by Carmella. But it's crazy thinking about Asuka, who should have beat Charlotte at WrestleMania 34, and then losing the battle royale the next Mania. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss defeating her and Io Shirai for the tag titles. 37, she gets destroyed by Rhea Ripley. She's not even in WrestleMania 38. And then losing this match at WrestleMania 39. I feel bad for Asuka. And like what she tweeted out.
How can you feel bad for her?
Because this
he hates Asuka.
She's on the program.
I'm saying, dude. But Asuka was supposed to be this mega star that we got from Japan, like Shinsuke Nakamura. I thought Shinsuke Nakamura was gonna.
She's much better than Shinsuke Nakamura.
But I gotta say that match was really good, though.
Yeah, it was. Listen, she does her thing. She's on WrestleMania card. You cannot feel sorry for somebody that's on the card. That means their hard work paid off. That means they were put in a position. They're on the biggest show of the year. It's because Sasha Banks is no longer around, Mike. He's got to send his condolences somewhere else, so now it goes to Asuka.
Mm-hmm.
And then Christian Brown just said, Asuka not doing well at Mania is no coincidence. That reeks of Vince's racism. I have no comment.
I'm not going to get into racism that we have no idea about. Vince is a lunatic when it comes to booking.
I just want to know, how do you not swallow that fucking mist that, like, I know they bite down and then they have the perfect moment, but what happens if on accidentally you just
it's food coloring.
I know it's food coloring, but what happens if you hiccup and you just swallow the whole entire thing?
Then you swallow the thing.
Then you swallow the pill.
Moving on. Another impromptu match that was supposed to be The Miz taking on Shane McMahon, where Shane McMahon pulled the same thing Vince McMahon did in the Royal Rumble of 2005. Crazy. He tears his quad, and people calling that karma of last year's Royal Rumble.
He really didn't even do much.
He was doing drop downs and tore his quad.
But remember how I also said it looked like he almost tripped?
Yeah, he stumbled.
I wonder if that was part of it. Like that was part of it starting to go.
Yeah, I think so. And then he stumbled, and yeah, that didn't. I don't know. Usually, something like that means like he was doing something before was kind of like weakening the muscle. Like it's not just going to rip like that.
It's like an Edwin Diaz situation.
Was that?
I think Edwin Diaz of the of the New York Mets.
Yeah, they're saying Diaz had to have been the jumping up and down motion doesn't cause what happened to him. That it had to have, it was on its last legs to begin with, and the next it could have done it.
Exactly, wear and tear. Shane is in his 50s, so my buddy just did the same thing in his backyard. He tripped going down the steps, but then when I was talking to him, he said he felt a little something when he was at the gym doing legs. And I'm like, and that's usually when it happens. And then, just something stupid could make it, the worst case. But I got to tell you, Snoop Dogg ad-libbed really, really well.
Yeah.
Well, the funny part is that was supposed to happen, but it wasn't supposed to happen yet.
Yeah.
So the fact he was able to jump right into it was good.
Yeah.
And he wins a match against The Miz in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And Snoop Dogg had his WrestleMania moment. But moving on to the Hell in a Cell match. Edge taking on the Demon Finn Balor, which was won by Edge in 18 minutes and 10 seconds. And like I said to Chris, Finn Balor was wrestling with a torn calf that he rehabbed for 3 weeks. Well, because he was supposed to be out 8 to 9 weeks, and he was going to miss Mania. And he said, "I'm not missing Mania," so he rehabbed for 3 weeks straight, but no days off.
Yeah. So, 2 things about that. People really complaining the fact that they stopped the match to get him attended. Okay, which they kind of had to because that was a nasty gash.
14 staples.
But some idiot comments somewhere saying, "Nice blade job." I'm like, blade job? Did you see the picture? That's not a blade job.
No.
Edge
That might
pushed
have
the
been
ladder
doing
too
a
hard.
bunch of blade job, but not. No, that was some gash in his head.
Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, he blocked the ladder, so you could tell it was a blade. I'm like, watch it again.
He blocked it, but
He
not
blocked, but it went through and still hit his head.
Yeah. Listen,
Did the right person go over this match?
I go back to what I said before. If you want to make that group look big, you can't make them lose. It's like Damage Control. You can't have these people lose and then try to say this group is still big.
well, I don't think the group is big.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This makes it not.
He's the only one. She's the only one. I just thought he was trying to do too much with the.
I gotta say,
I haven't seen the Demon in a while, but he was doing too much with the growling outside. Did you notice that?
yes, and also,
I just, it just felt a little forced. I mean, it's always cool to see him painted up like that, but just felt a little of it was a little forced.
I will say I liked Edge's entrance.
yes,
Yeah,
kind of remind me a little Jeepers Creepers in a way.
that was good.
And then I also like the little different color kendo sticks and chairs, and like the one table.
I like they actually kind of had that little slab of metal so that Finn can jump off.
Oh yeah, the little ledge.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that it went back to the old school cage.
I heard there was a reason why they had to do that because of the color scheme. It just wouldn't clash right with what I heard.
And was it K Marvel that said it? That the Demon had to have some type of purple in that gear, and his Demon.
I believe it was K Marvel that said it. Yeah,
had to have some type of purple in the Demon face paint. And did it say Edge on the back?
No. We thought it did at first, and it didn't.
But they put on a good match, though.
Yeah.
The little kendo stick shots, the coup de grace through the table that he missed, but he went through. That was a clean break of that table, number one. Mm-hmm. Usually you see it when in any table match, you see the table in 3 or 4 pieces. But then, moving on to the main event, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, taking on the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defends his championship in 34 minutes and 35 seconds. That match felt like it was longer than that. But
that's a decently long match, though.
That was the longest match of all the rest out of both cards. But I know Cody's story's not over because of the press conference afterwards with Triple H. He said that's a chapter, and this is another chapter in Cody's story. But how did you guys feel about this match?
I had me on the edge of my seat many times, thinking Cody was going to win. Many times thinking Roman was going to win.
Yeah, I thought it was very good. Like I said, I'm not disappointed with the outcome. The outcome I kind of expected.
Yeah. I think it caught some of us by surprise in a way, because we all thought Cody was going to win. Then Roman won. And then...
Well, especially you think that Cody's going to win when the interference came down and Sami Zayn then came out. That's when you're like, okay, he's definitely winning.
Yep, when they evened the odds, and then Solo came back. But hats off to Vince Triple H for a total attendance of 161,892 combined of both nights.
Yep, their biggest everything Mania wise. It's in terms of merchandise and everything. It was insane, they said.
Thank you, SoFi Stadium, for letting WWE host an event there. Hats off to Los Angeles. But now, next Mania...
Englewood. It's not really Los Angeles.
But next up, WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. Now, moving on to the shit show Raw after Mania. We all know Triple H came out and said we ain't going nowhere.
Oh,
when.
By the way, it said that's the exact same thing he's going to say tonight. It's literally just a rehash of what he said on Monday.
He's coming out. He's starting the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's begging people not to bail because the old man's back.
Chris and Brad said they booked the match the way it was supposed to go. My concern with the feud going forward is just how long they plan on stretching out. I've heard some rumblings in some corners that they could stretch this out to Mania 40.
Nobody wants that. That's way too long.
That's ridiculous.
SummerSlam or nothing.
So the Raw after Mania, we had a bunch of matches that were supposed to happen. Bayley was supposed to come out with Damage Control, and she was taken off the.
There was supposed to be two women triple threat matches
to set up the new number one contender for Bianca, right?
I don't know exactly what for, but that's what.
And they were both scrapped.
They were both scrapped, and they had
they
had that tag match instead.
They have the Liv Raquel taking on Damage Control for the number one contendership for next week. So next week we're gonna get Liv and Raquel taking on Lita and Becky.
I told you it was for Monday too, before they announced it. I said there's no way this is for a pay-per-view.
Sami Zayn and the Street Profits, Sami Zayn and KO and the Street Profits was a very good tag team match. Seth
there was no NXT debuts.
Nope.
I know.
When was the Breaker coming on? Come on.
Maybe tonight.
I hated
tonight.
And what's funny is we were saying when Theory came out, that would have been a good opportunity to introduce somebody instead of him and Ray.
Enough with Ray. That's what, Andrew was right. Ray's got to go. Could have been a perfect opportunity for someone to come out. They got dudes down there. They got girls down there that would give a little jolt to what's some of these old timers. They fill up a lot of space with these old timers. That just it's got to you never know what you have unless you bring up a Carmelo.
I think
I know what they have.
I think after Backlash, or even after Saudi, we're going to get.
What's the next NXT?
Battlegrounds.
See, I think that is going to be the end of Braun Breaker because of what happened.
And also the end of Indy Hartwell. And
she's a transitional champion.
Indy Hartwell's coming up, and she's going to tag with Candice LeRae up in the main roster, so they can go after women's tag titles.
But I think after that pay-per-view is when you're going to see Braun Breaker come up because they turned heel.
And then maybe
But that's not till SummerSlam, is it?
No, it's before. It's when is it, Andrew? Look it up. It's fairly. Isn't it like May? May or June?
It is May 28th in Lowell, Massachusetts.
So right after that, bring them up.
So you can have Braun Breaker start a program with Austin Theory. Let him win the United States Championship at SummerSlam. But we had like the rest of the show of Raw After Mania was blah. But tonight we have for SmackDown, which starts in a minute. We have Triple H kicking off the show. We got Rey and Santos taking on Dom and Damian. We got the Brawling Brutes. We got the Brawling. I don't know. We got the Brawling.
Like, how many times do I got to see this? It was on Monday. You got Rey on Monday. And then we're going to. It just got to stop.
And then we got a triple threat. Not a triple threat. A 6-person tag team match between the Brawling Brutes and Imperium. I think
that's going to be the best. That's going to be the best match of the week.
I will say this. I will say this. I think.
Oh, nice! They're opening with in memory of Bushwhacker Butch.
Yeah, it was a sad situation. But what else we had? What we have tonight? I know there's one more match that I missed. Oh, we got Sami Zayn taking on Jey Uso. We'll find out what's going on. If he has the same promo of Triple H right now. But WrestleMania 39 over. Stand and Deliver was amazing. Carmelo Hayes being the new NXT champion. Indy Hartwell becoming the new women's tag team, the new NXT women's champion. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn winning the tag titles. Wesley defending his North American Championship in a banger fatal 5-way was amazing. And then the triple threat tag team match between Gallus, Pretty Deadly, and Tony D'Angelo.
Pretty Deadly is going to be one of the teams coming up very soon.
I can't wait to see that shit. But we'll be live here.
They're really, really high on them.
We'll be live here for the first 15 minutes of SmackDown, like we used to do with Raw. We'll watch the Triple H promo together. If anybody is watching it on Fox, I don't know what channel that's it for everybody around here. I know Channel 5 for us. Any other comments about this weekend?
Just everybody calm down. See what happens before you jump to conclusions.
Everything will be all right. Everything happens for a reason, and we know
everything's going to be all right.
But also, one more thing about Logan Paul. Loved his entrance. Paying homage to the to HBK.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oh, they're showing the highlights of the thing.
Christopher Brown, I hope, but I don't think it's going to happen. Because, the whole thing about Corey Graves being cleared obviously might not have been real because who knows? And
what did he write?
What?
What did he write?
He says, Michael, let me ask you this. Will we ever see a match between Corey Graves and McAfee?
No. You know why I'll see that happen? War Games.
And as far as Cole talking about his plans to retire, hey, you know what? We can talk all the shit we want about him, and his mess ups and all that stuff, but it's gonna be very strange when he does leave.
But if he retires, we're gonna miss the motherfucking shit out of him.
But this is now the time you start grooming that replacement, though.
Yes. Vic Joseph down in NXT doing really good. Felt like he could be the next replacement for Michael.
Good.
I am sorry to any Booker T fans out there. He sucks at commentary.
Oh, he's lost it. He has lost it.
But so does Corey Graves. Is no good. It's all shit. It's just why does he got to scream all the time?
I don't know, but also Kevin Patrick, he's showing a little bit of improvements.
That's the guy on Monday.
Yeah,
he's rough too.
But I'm saying he's showing a little bit.
Rough. He has room
that's a rough boot.
He's give him maybe a year or two, and he'll be better.
Where'd he come from?
KP, I have no fucking clue. I miss Jimmy Graham. I miss fucking Nigel McGuinness, but Nigel McGuinness is all elite. And also, I really don't like AEW, but congratulations on booking Wembley Stadium for their All-In show.
They ain't selling in 90,000.
We all know that. Meanwhile, fans are saying, "Oh, they got big fans in UK because WWE."
They ain't selling
UK
90,000.
people show up for any type of sporting event because they don't have their own shit over there, like football and stuff.
I guess
oh shit!
It's not opening. I mean, I guess Triple H is not opening up SmackDown.
Maybe after this match,
you're opening up with the
Brawling Brutes versus Imperium.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not complaining.
This is going to be a banger. I gotta say to everybody, the people that came to my house night one, Mike, Chris, Rodney, Joe, Patricia, friend Felicia, Mike and Jen, Kenny, Rodney. I had a great time with you guys night one. I appreciate you all coming to my house for that watch party.
Man, that was fun. Thanks for the invite.
But the pizza didn't agree with me.
Yeah, he had heartburn.
What kind of pizza did you eat?
Regular Domino's cheese pizza.
Regular? There's no barbecue, nothing like that?
No.
Oh, wow.
That was me.
And I had the heartburn the next day, Andrew. That was after.
Those the Applebee's?
Yeah,
his food decisions this weekend weren't the greatest.
It was not. I had that whole weekend, including Friday. It was just one of the most craziest types of food weekends.
I had the barbecue, pineapple, chicken, and onions pizza. That was so good. And then night two, watching at Rodney's house was a fun time watching it with K Marvel, Mike, Jen, Kenny, Trisha,
Jay,
yeah. Yo, but K Marvel, I'm sorry talking about you, but during the Edge and Finn Balor match, he fucking fell asleep. He was.
That was early.
And also
midway.
They also fucked up. I gotta tell you, during that night too, they should have let it go a little bit longer and waited till it got dark because Finn Balor's entrance wasn't the greatest entrance that we've seen him in the past with the dark.
Yeah, with that ramp is so goddamn long.
Yeah.
And what was he playing with those little flares?
When
he was coming down.
The smoke bombs, I gotta say.
Yeah.
But that was cool. They were purple. That's what Bianca's bet. Oh, Chris Brown said that's what Bianca's match did to me, Andrew. I passed out for like 15 minutes during that match. So you basically missed the whole match.
So he says also that this is Hunter showing you how he books different events. He doesn't need to boost his ego for 20 minutes to start things off.
Where's Andrew?
He ran away.
Well, all right. I'm going to wrap it up.
Oh yeah, I saw that, Christopher Brown. Oh yeah, Chris, did you see? There was a thing that said they took Taker's and Triple H's Mania entrances time wise, and it was like crazy how all combined, how long it was. It was like crazy, all their entrances.
Oh, what? Every single one of them?
No, time wise.
Yes, I'm saying every single.
Every single one of their Mania entrances.
They're at least 5 minutes long. Every one of them.
I think when you have an entrance at Mania, I don't care how long it is. This is the biggest night of the year. So if you have a 2 or 3 minute entrance, or even a 4 minute entrance, but when you're
as long as it's not longer than your match.
Yeah, it can't be longer than a match.
And it can't be like a Taker one where he has to walk all the way down. Can you imagine if Taker was wrestling in this match?
For Undertaker, it was a combined time of an hour and 42 minutes. And for Hunter, it's an hour and 22 minutes.
Jeez. That's crazy.
You got a full pay-per-view of them walking down to the ring.
Yeah, for real.
But I also got to say, thank you to The Weeknd for back-to-back good songs for Mania.
Meh.
He saves our asses from Flow Rider.
Meh.
I don't want to listen to another fucking Flow Rider song.
And I don't want to hear another Weeknd song. Sorry, Brett.
Yeah. I'm good with neither.
You know what was crazy too? I know we saw at Mania Roman Reigns' entrance with the pianos and everything, but we didn't really get to see like a live performance of an entrance, like somebody actually singing somebody's entrance song. Like you didn't see Alter Bridge doing like a
around, you can't get, Alter Bridge doesn't exist anymore.
They don't?
No.
Wow. I saw this morning that Jim Johnson approached AEW about doing themes for them, and Khan blew him off. What a fucking idiot, Tony Khan. Jim Johnston is the god of theme
this is
music.
when I would be Triple H and be like, yo, Jim, come back.
I know Def Rebel does really good theme songs. Like in the beginning, they were shit, but now they're legit bangers because, like, with Asuka's new theme is awesome. Like, I actually got that song stuck in my head a couple of times. But Jim Johnston, the godfather of theme music. I wish he were back. I wish CFO $sign didn't break up because they made great fucking theme songs.
Yeah, they were good. They weren't bad.
So, any predictions on the Backlash card? Because we're in commercial break. We know Brock Cody.
I still think it's going to be LWO versus Judgment Day. I think you're going to end up getting that one last time.
What about Bad Bunny? Do you think Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny's going to be the host. I don't think he's actually going to be involved.
All right, boys, I'm going to jump.
All righty. Chris, we'll be in touch for the next show. I think.
Sounds good.
I think we should do bi-weekly, maybe one show every 2 weeks.
Over through the text.
Okay.
All right, boys.
Later, Chris.
Later.
Have a good one. Whoa,
Whoa.
that's a bad exit.
So it's just me and you, Mike. But we'll go over what our show format's going to be now that I got full control.
But I will
Oh,
say
but-
this. NFL draft show. You're definitely going to be in that.
When is that?
What date is that? I think they said, is it next week? No, the 20. Isn't it the 27th?
Okay, that's a Thursday. Okay. So, okay. But
NFL draft is. Really, you're not telling me this?
I would like to apologize that I have no sound effects, no soundboard things. I got to go to Rodney's again and get that lobby
Yep.
track.
Thursday, April 27th.
Okay. But I will get this stuff, like our sound effects back. I hope I can get something that will give me a soundboard so I can download some stuff onto it. Have little fun little things. Have our theme song back.
You know, you can also, he could have. I'm trying to think. You know, you can also put me as like a member to do stuff, but I forgot how to do it.
I'll go to Rodney's another day and
because
Yeah.
I can always because I was always able, if I wanted to, put like one of you as getting authority to do things too on mine. So
okay. Do you see Ludwig Kaiser as a future mid-card champion, or do you see
I
Giovanni
see
Vinci?
Vinci, I see as a star. He has the look, the build.
You know what the funny thing is? I said his name wrong one time, and I think Kenny said who? I said Giovanni Vinci. I was like, what?
Vinci.
I gotta say, Imperium looks really good.
Yep.
I'm happy they're still together as a trio. I feel like they're a good trio. I wish Alexander Wolf came back with Eric Young and Killian Dane so they could bring back Sanity. Can you imagine Imperium versus Sanity?
Mm-hmm.
Or even Brawl and Bruce versus Sanity? When the hell is Lacey Evans due back, or is she done again?
Who knows? It's just like, Alexa Bliss when she leaves and comes back, and Bray Wyatt leaves and comes back and leaves and comes back.
Yeah. But this has been a good match. Once this match is over, we'll be ending. And here comes Sheamus, Tegan, and Gunther. Bray left because of Vince. No, Bray didn't leave because of Vince. Bray left because of physical conditions.
But they're supposedly bringing back the Fiend and killing the group.
Oh no, more chops. Ten chops again.
What's crazy is Sheamus is over as all fuck too. Like, jeez. There's so many people right now that are just over.
Do you see Sheamus winning in Puerto Rico.
They'll eventually make him win. He's gonna have to. Like, he's just too good to not have ever held that championship.
It is crazy, like, to think about the people that never held that title.
See, the thing with Bo Dallas, so that was a rumor. That was never confirmed. So, again, we don't know what... You know, and that's the other thing, like Andrew and I have talked about, this whole thing with supposedly Liv Morgan and Bo Dallas being together. If that's the case, why have we never seen them together?
Yep.
Ever. We've never seen them together.
Where the hell was he on the red carpet with Liv?
Not even that. Whenever she's at any event, when she's been at people's weddings and stuff like that, and there's just pictures of her, nobody else.
Yeah. I like this look. Sheamus better than the one he had when he won the WWE Championship. But there you have it. The 6-man tag team match. The Brawling Brutes beat Imperium via Sheamus pinning Giovanni Vinci. So, on the Facebook page, we'll update you when the next time we'll be going live. Because sometimes we're too busy during the month, maybe, or whatever. I'm going to try to see if we could do bi-weekly shows. But we know at the end of this month, we got the NFL Draft show on our sister or brother's sister.
Partner.
On a partner brand, the Muse Report, with Michael, Kenny, Rodney, Chris, and I will be watching the draft together and doing our little nitpicking if we like the picks or not.
Mm-hmm.
But for Andrew, for Michael, for Chris, and for Rodney, everybody have a nice day. Have a great weekend and happy Easter, everybody. Hope the Easter Bunny treats you right, especially to our goddaughter. And we love you. And yes, Christopher Rand, it's going to be a real shame when McIntyre leaves in 3 months. But if they resign him,
I don't think he's leaving.
But we love you all. Be safe during this weekend. And we'll catch you next time here on BTB Live / Andrew Hot Takes. Peace.